being propelled and dumped on their way out. You said they've bumped their heads on the net. What do you mean by that?
Well, when they try to get out of your body, it's like a Faraday cage. And when Robert Monroe was put into a Faraday cage, you know, he could astral travel. But in the Faraday cage, when he got out of his body, he would hit that, and his astral body could not go through the Faraday cage, which was electrified. And this is what's happened. And what happens is they may project out to a certain point if they're pretty aware, and then they'll hit the barrier, and then they'll just be accosted, surrounded, taken away.
Robert Monroe also mentions loosh. How is that important in understanding this phenomena?
Well, they regularly they're parasitic as well as eating astral flesh and sometimes physical flesh. They are parasitic, so they ingest energy through while people are sleeping or meditating in a restful state. If you feel a vibration, like in a certain body part or on your face, just like a light tingly, then somebody's sucking your energy. You can feel it in different areas. Usually it's around a chakra or a major organ, because that's where most of the energy is housed. And so they'll be feeding on you. And I've heard them talk about, you know, waiting for somebody to go to sleep so they'll feed on them.
You've also talked about reptilians can take good astral people and through reincarnation can force them back into the cycle of the net.
Yeah, they do.
Is this from the reverse speech that you hear this, or the EVP?
I don't think I've heard that through reverse speech. I think I heard that through other information. So I can't say, but I know that they call it recycling, when they cycle somebody back into the game, into the physical world. After all, this is where children are brought in. The other planes, they don't have children. They can't have children on the lower astral. So in order for them to create new babies with consciousness, they can create all kinds of hybrids and stuff. But they want the consciousness. They want the memories and the experience and the emotions of a real human being.
So what is the nature of the net in detail? Is it a charged electronic field, or what is it?
Well, I think that's what it is. I don't know for sure. It's a force field of some type. I know they're ionizing it with chemtrails, so it will be more volatile. You say that the chemtrails
use ionized metallic salts, and that there's also strange biological material like blood cells.
Well, there's different. The chemtrails do different things. They create viruses and illness. They are dropping these biological things that are seeding. It's a soul fest. They're hearing coyotes. They join in.
Apparently they're a little adverse to cameras.
They get self-conscious when you look at them.
You don't like the cameras? They heard the owl.
They heard the owl.
So let's talk about chemtrails again.
The chemtrails, from what I understand, again, it's hard for me to get real technical information from reverse speaking because I'm not that good at it. The biological organisms are for seeding people. They want to get as many people seeded as possible before they leave. So they're dropping these biological, it's seeds of their own kind. That's what I understand. Then there's the viruses and things that they will, I've heard Cheney say in reverse, there's too many of them douse the air. So they're trying to make us sick through chemtrails. And they're ionizing it. They want to set this net on fire. They're going to use probably HARP to get it going. And that's to help charge it so it becomes more volatile. That's what I believe.
Can the net produce holograms and screened images?
Oh, I believe so.
What happens if an ET Alliance ship is brought down within the net?
They're screwed. Yeah, they're screwed. They're what are we doing here? That's what happened to all of us, I can guarantee you.
So, as far as Mars and the reptilians, you said the net emanates from Mars?
It's part Mars is involved. I don't know. major, they own Mars. They own that planet. And it could be that it emanates from there, but I'm not sure if it, but it's, the net is part of Mars. I don't know if it surrounds Mars or not.
Is it possible that reptilians exist on the surface of Mars but in another frequency?
Yes.
You also mentioned that on Mars there have been photographs of glass tunnels. Is that accurate? Have you?
I only know that from seeing the photographs. I know they have underground. They're underground. They have huge bases there.
And what else do they have going on Mars?
Well, that's where they take a lot of the people that die, and that's where they kill them again. And they have huge meat lockers there, and that's where the ship will stop on its way out to pick up more meat. These animals, these lizards have just voracious appetites. Voracious. They use a lot of meat.
Now, regarding the reptilians, you've said, we've been handed belief systems, political and religious, which have been used to great advantage by this group to promote dissension, hatred, bigotry, and cause war. War has created benefits for this group on every level, but primarily it is a feast, as the fallen soldier, young, healthy, and filled with adrenaline and fear, is the favorite food source of this group. Once on the other side, the soldier is again faced with his death, and this time at the hands of leering reptiles mocking his sacrifice for a patriotic cause. Within the last few years, we have had an invasion of perhaps tens of thousands or even more of these new arrivals. Most of these are clone beings with no compassion whatsoever. They were given an extra Y chromosome in order to be more aggressive. I would say that this group is virtually all male, and in the past I have spoken to some of these entities who have been born naturally as well as females of their species, and it seems now the male cloned reptilians are dominating the interdimensional world. This started happening in September 2004, you say, where these large numbers started coming from Orion. How can reptilians play with the mind of a human? How can they mind hack to find out what scares us?
They have specialists. They're specialists in all different fields. Not all of them, they don't all read minds. They have specialists that read minds. They have others that they have labs where they work on their technologies to do different things. They had a whole group that really perfected the near-death experience. I mean, because in the past it wasn't called upon that often how many people were resuscitated, not very many. So it was just in recent times. So they put forth a great effort to be able to create this whole thing so that we're having this, now we have millions of people having this experience. They have specialists, they have just the minions, they have the soldiers, the workers, you know, they just have, it's very structured, just kind of like here.
And are reptilians stealing fetuses from human mothers?
Oh yeah.
For what purpose?
They eat them. Well, now, there's two purposes. If they're just human, they're food. If they're hybrids, if they're Pleiadian, they're trying to get Pleiadian hybridization. They want Pleiadian DNA badly. That's why with my friend who's a Pleiadian, he's raped continuously. They have told me they have hundreds of his offspring, hundreds, that they have created because they want that genetic material.
Now, when humans kill each other, you say the reptilians feast.
They wait. They told me you make war, we plan the wars, you fight, and we dine. And I have a reversal that says in World War II, when Bush was talking to the war vets, he says, we ate so many then we hiccup. This is why we have war. Strictly, well, there's different reasons. They can make money and it's control, but it's mainly to eat.
So do they instigate murders as well?
Oh, yeah.
So there was a case that you and Ted investigated back in 94 or 95 involving a man who claimed to have killed people under the influence of aliens. I think his name is Moody.
I guarantee you he was telling the truth. At the time, you know, I wasn't sure. But he said aliens influenced him to kill those women. No doubt about it. I believe him now 100%. Of course, he did it. You know, now whether he was insane, you know, they can try to influence you, but they're still